Hey there, peeps. We are live. I am so excited today to have with us an awesome friend of mine and a phenomenal individual in the industry who has been moving and shaking for quite some time and has turned the table on business and growing, scaling your business through a thing called joint ventures. So we're going to be talking to none other than Jay Facette today, and we're going to be talking joint ventures. So bring him up. Welcome, Jay. Hello.
Hey, Michelle, how are you this morning?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks. Yourself?
I am getting in the groove.
Excellent. I understand you're in 3 places at once, so you understand completely what it's like in my life right now.
Yeah, that almost never happens.
Never happens with you. I know. I think we're living parallel lives, but so I want to. One of the things I mostly appreciate about you is that we can both talk at fast forward. So my goal here is to get as much information in 15 minutes that nobody can play on 2x speed, because they will sound like a couple of chipmunks.
You know what? I've heard that from our a bunch of clients of ours, which is you are the only person that I cannot accelerate the video for.
Awesome. So that's my challenge for today. So you have mastered the art and science of joint ventures, but what I found is a lot of people get tied up in the concept of what a joint venture is because they think of the legal term and binding contracts and business agreements, stuff like that. So in your words, just what are joint ventures to you?
Okay. To me, a joint venture is whenever 2 or more people, organizations come together to collaborate, contributing their network, wisdom, resources, and experiences to come up with an offer, an invitation, a value proposition for clients. And it is a process whereby we share the inputs, and based upon what transpires and the rewards and the outcome, we share those proportionate to our inputs. It need not be any more complex than that in any way, shape, or form. Where I think you're right, Michelle, is that people do get caught up in the terminology. So if I can quickly say, I use this umbrella statement of joint ventures. And that covers, to me, first and foremost, affiliate marketing. So if you've ever bought something and it was like, hey, I love this thing. If I sign up, I get a little link and I can share that, in an email, in a blog post to my friends, on a Facebook thing. That technically falls in the category of joint ventures. The middle area that I call them is like relationship driven joint ventures, where we meet somebody, we understand them, we understand where they fit on what we call our upstream downstream model. And then we do projects together that have a beginning, a middle, and end. A little bit like our upcoming challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. It has a beginning, a promotion period. Then there's a delivery period, and then there's an ending period that we know it's done. So what happens in those circumstances is that there's no big legal structure. We just say, yes, we're going to do it. And what transpires is at the end of it, it's like, that was awesome. We're going to do that again. Or it's like, not really for me. We carry on. No big obligation, no big, we're not getting married. And then the third one is what we would call a strategic partnership, where we start like embedding content in one another's programs and one another's live events, when we get back to them, in one another's digital content, all those sorts of things. So that quite literally, each time we have the flow of clients, they meet a strategic partner every single time. And those are some of my favorites under the sun. But when I say joint ventures, I mean those 3 things: affiliate marketing, relationship project events, and then, of course, strategic partnerships.
Nice. Love it. One of the things that I found is, like I was saying in the promo for this, is I used to recommend people get 100% commission salespeople because they were committed to the company doing things right, getting sales. They only get paid on what they deliver, and it has to be a solid delivery. Otherwise, they get chargebacks, and kind of every 100% sales commission person hates clawbacks. But what is it about joint ventures that you can 10x that relationship, 100x in some cases? Like, instead of just going, hey, I want to add 100 grand to my bottom line, people are adding like millions, literally, to the bottom line in like weekends. Tell us about that.
Yes.
Because that's insane.
Well, so I'm just going to back up for a brief moment to answer that question. So you and I both know I ran a personal development company called Personal Best Seminars, which became the Creators Code in Calgary for, let's call it 25 plus or minus years. And honest to goodness, it took us and it was a closed system, which meant that we never did joint ventures. We didn't have other people on our stages. If you wanted to facilitate with and for us, that was generally a 3-year training program before you were certified. And my dear wife and I, Corey, we worked like madmen for like 15 years to break 7 figures in annual sales. And when I say mad, I'm a Saskatchewan kid. And when I say madman, I mean like we worked to a degree that most people would have freaking died. And finally, 15 years later, it's like, whoo, we broke 7 figures. And also our brains, our backs, and our common sense.
That's why we love you so much.
Yes. So, fast forward to learning this online model, learning what joint ventures are, learning all of those pieces. We started doing a program. We created a brand called Mastermind to Millions, and we have a live event, Mastermind to Millions Live. And we did $1 million in Canadian sales in 3.5 days. And really, the only difference was opening up the model, utilizing joint ventures to fill the room, utilizing joint ventures to help with the sales and marketing, utilizing joint ventures to help with the delivery, utilizing joint ventures to feature partners and people who make a monumental difference for people who are trying to launch masterminds. And all of those things came together. And I will never forget at the end of it, because I kind of had tunnel vision. We were trying to figure this thing out. I will never forget at the end of it, looking at it, it's like, what the hell was I doing for 15 freaking years? How batshit crazy is that? Anyway, the key idea here is this, is that when a joint venture goes well, is what we're bringing the best pieces from each of the partners and the resources to come together and to create more value for the end user. And when we're creating more value for the end user, of course, sales go up, of course, profit goes up, all of those pieces. So, anyone who is, like, should I master this, or should I even bother playing in the joint venture space? The answer to that is, number one, hell yes. And number two, I think entrepreneurs get used to working too hard. At least I can say that was true for me. It's like, this is how it has to go. We've got to get into the grind. We got to hustle. We got to do all that stuff. Like, what if there was just 3 to 5 people you could work together that serving, supporting, and connecting with them took care of all of the stuff that you're currently grinding and working hard at? And that to me is what the whole purpose of this upcoming challenge is, that starts actually on Monday, is to teach people the framework, the thinking, and to give them some of the partners to begin to play with that idea.
Nice. I love that. So for those of you who are maybe in a bricks and mortar business and you've never even contemplated this before, what I love about the 5-day challenge is it is the perfect playground to come in and just go, hey, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And somebody throws you a ball and all of a sudden, bam, you're in the game. It is so much fun, and it's so easy to be able to do that. And there's, on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's people that have been in joint venture world, affiliate marketing world for like decades, and they're rock and rolling. They know what they're looking for, and they're looking for those newbies coming in going, hey, who do you serve and support, and how can we help you? You have created one of the best JV groups, communities that I think there is, quite frankly, because you make it so easy to come in and just play. So many people, it feels like a networking event where everybody's in their little cliques and you walk in and it's like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here. And that is so not you.
Well, I think it speaks to the values of the community. First and foremost is that we fervently believe that we're better together. And when we can truly believe that and truly know that, I think what transpires is the competition thing falls away. I think the do I fit in falls away, because we're really looking for, hey, how can I complement Michelle? How can I make her process stronger and easier, more fun? She's looking for how she can complement me. So that whole better together piece is incredibly important. And we fervently also believe this, for that to work, we have to understand and live interdependence, and which is a dramatically different thing. It's like, well, wait a second, if I'm really orienting, we're better together. Well, we're better together for our clients, meaning that I want to help my client find a solution. That may be me, or it might be you, or it might be somebody else. But it is not my job to sell them. It's not my job to convince them. It's not my job to have 15 trial closes. Honest to God, that's a bunch of shit in my opinion. It's like, how about instead of 15 trial closes, how about 15 great questions to find out what the hell they want and need, and then just give them that. And if they'd like to pay for it, that'd be awesome. Or if they like, it seems so strange to me. So anyway, that's the better together piece. And then the other part of it is a joint venture is a game of I'll go first, which is our second core belief. And what that simply means is lead by making a positive difference. Lead by making, how do I put this? Lead by moving the needle for your partner. If you can't move the needle for your partner, you probably shouldn't be doing it in the first damn place. So what is relevant, important, and significant to them, and how are you going to help with that? So those two things come together. that I think cause our community to have a radically and dramatically different feel than any other community I've ever come across. And, that isn't just my opinion. Is what we hear time and time and time and time and time again. People walk into our events, and it's like, holy crap, I feel like I found my family. I've been here like 4 hours. How is that possible? It's like, well, because it's what we believe.
Right, and it's so absolutely true. What I also find is that people come into the community and they don't realize how much they had to give. And it's like they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing here and how I'm doing it. Oh, but I can help you. Oh, but I can help you, and I can help you. And like, who knew? I have resources I never even knew I had before, and it's super fun to be able to offer them, give them, play with them, and to be able to go first, truly, and then to learn how this whole thing happens and how you can scale up. It was super fun.
Well, and in fact, one of the activities that we do at JBology Live, our upcoming 3-day live event, and we get started on in the challenge, is this idea of what we call platform and resources. Because you're right, most people grossly underestimate the impact and the influence that they can have supporting other people. So when we start broadening this whole idea of platform and resources, all of a sudden it becomes like, wait a second, there's an inordinate amount of support, content, intellectual property, connections, introductions. Sometimes it's simply unused capacity in terms of our business, or an EA, or a this or that. And when we start thinking about it from that perspective, it's like, holy crap, we're a pretty valuable resource.
Oh, yeah, and it's totally awesome. The other thing that I find awesome, and now in my marketing for this, I've told all you guys, you can 10x your results, you can meet 30 plus people in this 5 days. All these numbers sound fantastic, but in reality, all you need is one person who you click and jive with that has the thing that you're looking for. And all of a sudden the clouds part, the angels sing, sun shines down, music starts. And it's like, oh my God, this is freaking awesome. Like, how many times have you seen that happen?
Well,
I've seen it happen a ton.
So short version, yes, a ton. And it's something I wish I had kept better track of. And I think what happens though is where it sort of gets lost is that sometimes when we're trying to figure out our position, where we're trying to build a relationship, so we're trying to figure out what platform and resource is really going to make a difference, is that it's sort of, I think it feels like people have to kiss a lot of frogs. So it doesn't necessarily look like, oh, just one person made it happen. But often it's like, so you might kiss 3, 4, 5 frogs, and then all of a sudden there's the, princess or Prince Charming, where it's like the clouds part, and it's like, this is a perfect match, and look out world, here we go. And sometimes it's a simple speaking invitation. I was just talking to my dear friend Suzanne Evans. I'm speaking at her mastermind September 1st. She years ago helped put us on the map, and that $1 million weekend she helped coordinate. So it's just that whole timing and alignment that makes all the difference in the world. Oh,
absolutely. So I'm just muting out the dogs in the background. A few dogs. They're not my dogs, I swear to God. Yeah, I absolutely love that. Love the community, the influence, everything. You get to meet phenomenal people, and it's like they all just kind of get magnetized to you, and those that do are they're almost perfect fits for each other. And it's not because we have the same market that we're going after. It's not because we have different markets that we're going after. It's almost got nothing to do with the actual business itself. It's got everything to do with attitudes, culture, fundamental values that we bring to the table. And it's not like we're all from Saskatchewan. Make it pretty easy to do. But they all seem to have that kind of, hey, come on over, open the door, and come on and sit down and have some coffee.
Well, the truth is they just wouldn't fit in our community otherwise. Like, it just doesn't jive, and I think that's one of the things that also happens is that, the sort of the inside joke in this domain is like, so how big is your list?
Like comparing sizes for no reason.
Exactly. And how much money did you make last year? And what's your? It can be a little bit silly. Now, let's be clear. There are different ranges of experience and ability to move the needle. But this is my view, and I think I've always sort of held this, which is I am more interested in somebody's willingness and ability to do their best with what they've got than how do I put it? Than somebody who has a ton of resources but is kind of like a half-ass effort. And probably goes back to the Saskatchewan Farm Kid thing. So for me, if you can just create the culture of, I will bring what I've got and I will serve. The rest of it takes care of itself. And I think that's the key piece of when people come and do the 5-day challenge. I think they're going to understand the values. They're going to understand the culture. You'd said something about the business stuff didn't matter. We teach something called upstream and downstream, which, and this is, I'm just going to go on a quick teaching moment, which is this. Okay, so lots of times it's like, hey, I have widget X and I need clients who need widget X. So then they sort of look around and it's like, hey, there's a company that sells a similar widget X. I'd love their customers. And it's like, it's too close. It sits on top of one another. It sets up competition, even if somebody has a great value and belief of interdependence. So we teach something called the upstream downstream model. And the best way to think about this, is that each of us solves a problem. So what we're after here is this. Why don't we build a relationship with the people that create the problem we solve? And why don't we build relationships with people that solve the problems that we create? Because every single time we put a solution in place, we create, another 4 to 7 problems. Excuse me. So when we can put that together, suddenly this whole world looks different. We're not looking for somebody that has the same customers. We're looking for somebody that takes care of or creates the problem on one end and solves the problem on another end. And that opens us up to a multitude of different traffic flows and a multitude of different JV partners. Now, I understand that's a lot to sort of jump into here right in a second, but here's the part I can tell you. 10 great upstream partners and 10 great downstream partners can 10x your profit. Now, please hear, I didn't say sales, your profit, because, and you'll understand this more in the challenge, is that the recurring passive income, your downstream income, is pure profit. That money goes directly to the bottom line. So, my simple thing is come and play. Let us do what we, walk our talk, which is a joint venture is a game of I'll go first. Listen, I'm going to give you the training, all 5 days of education. I'm going to give you the support. I'm going to be on live in Facebook and on videos and answering questions. And I'll hold your hand as you go through the process. And then thirdly, I'm going to do what virtually no one else does. I will give you the partners to go and to make the money and to apply it. So when you put those 3 things together, for crying out loud, you can't go wrong.
No kidding. And that is absolutely incredible. So I know your time is precious. I want to keep it tight. I also know that you have a bunch of events coming up. So before you kind of put a ribbon around the challenge, I want you to kind of give us a schedule of what's coming up in the fall for you that we can participate in. Okay, well, for those of you who don't know, I think I have a calendar over here.
Honestly, I'm teasing a little bit.
So, just because you come up with stuff every week? Why? What does that have to do with anything?
So we do our 5-day challenge. We're actually we should actually mention the giveaway as well. Excuse me, I just got. So there's our JVLG giveaway. 70 free gifts aimed at entrepreneurs and human beings to improve their life and their business. That's still live for about 2 more days. And if you want some of the best free training in the entire universe, go to the giveaway for sure. So then right after that, we go directly into our challenge. The challenge is this 5-day training program, free to the world, that will help people to get, number one, their heads and hearts aligned to JVs. It will train them in terms of how to shift their business structure to actually get a steady stream of free, perfectly qualified leads and a steady stream of recurring passive income. And when you put those 2 things together, then entrepreneurship gets easy. Now, from the challenge, we then go into what we call JVology Live. This is our 3.5 day. It is live online where you will meet another 200 to 300 JV partners. And quite frankly, and I mean this in all seriousness, in those 3.5 days, I will wager that I can create with you, for you, through you, more leads and more income and more marketing than you've done all the previous year, maybe the previous 2 years. Now, some people are, that's crazy. It's like we do that and then some, and we do it several times a year. So it will move the needle in that domain. So JVLG Live, 3.5 days, 200 to 300 partners, support, training, and processes. You will do your JV invitation. You'll leave with partners that'll frankly curl your hair. And then there is what we call our premium private event, the JVology Summit, which is basically invite only. Our premium joint venture mastery members can attend that, and then it is open to other movers and shakers. And that's a 2.5 day event. And then, good Lord, after that, we're going to come back to Mastermind to Millions Live. which we haven't done for about 3 years, and I'm incredibly excited. So not much going on in our domain. That is both the joy and the entertainment of joint ventures, is that it broadens your capacity to do an awful lot of things, because you've got the support and a bunch of your JV partners have your back.
Awesome. Love that. And I am just putting all the links for you into Mastermind Millions in the links for everybody. For some reason, and maybe you can help me with this, I think it's only going to YouTube. So if the links are in YouTube, I will post them in the comments afterwards down here.
Yeah, there's something goofy going on there, isn't there? Let me see if I do one, see if it makes any difference. Technology.
Yeah, while you're there, put Mastermind Millions.
Actually, I'm not sure that one's ready.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, talk to your IT team. Yeah, I'm going to get it from Brad on that one. It's going to come blaring through the...
I'm surprised I didn't see a pen fly through. So I tried to post something there, and it says
can't post
nothing. Yeah, so we'll put it in after. It's all good.
Yeah, well, all good.
As long as Brad doesn't knock you off in that meantime.
I will put those in the post for you guys. Awesome. And little kind of closing for you guys, so you know, at the end of this, I'm gonna play one of Jay's little commercials, just because I think they're awesome, and I'm a little biased about that, but that's okay. So tell us about
the person who created them was awesome.
She is, man. You should really give her a bonus or something. Hey, speaking of which, we want to have some awesome epic ads for the final closing day is Saturday, tomorrow, for the giveaway. So if you have some awesome ideas of what that commercial might look like, go ahead and private message me. Let me know what you're thinking, and we'll come up with some epic ones. We'll surprise Jay. It'll be fun. So Jay, wrapping up, 5-day challenge. Who should be there and why?
Great question. And I'm going to put them in 3 categories, because how this works is quite interesting. So category number 1 is anybody that's like, I'm trying to grow my business. I'm trying to work on this COVID thing, and I'm trying to actually figure out what it would take to have consistent lead flow. Most entrepreneurs just struggle with lead flow. So if you're sitting there going like, where do I get a lead? How do I talk to somebody about my business? How do I get more bookings for strategy sessions? Get your ass to the challenge. So those are people trying to figure the thing out. Then there's the intermediate folks, and the intermediate folks, I would say, are they've got some of their digital marketing worked out. They've got their CRM happening. They might even be able to produce an affiliate link, although they probably don't know what to do with it entirely just yet. And they're going to come and they're going to learn an inordinate amount of strategy. And that strategy is going to be backed up with people that they get to have that conversation with and talk to about their business. And then the third part is, and quite literally, we have professional JV managers who come to our free 5-day challenge, by the way, and have done and do so every single time, because who we attract, what we teach, and the language that we provide in terms of this, let's call it glossary of terms or context, accelerates their process like mad. So quite literally, 3 groups of people. Beginner, like, what the hell is a JV and how do I do it? Get your buddy in there and get your lead source secured. Intermediates, it's like, okay, I'm going down this road and I've got some of the pieces in place, but I don't have the scale that I need. Get in there and learn the strategy to put the scale together. And then the pros, who are looking for some rising stars and some people to get behind projects, be that a giveaway, a summit, a this or that. You get in there and you build relationships. You build relationships. You build relationships. You build relationships. And quite literally, those 3 things together create a little magic trick of epic proportions.
Nice, love that. Love it, love it. So peeps, go and sign up. The links are in the chat, but basically jvology.com/jumpstart. Go and sign up. I mean, it's ridiculous not to, especially in COVID years. If you've got 5 minutes a day, you can do this. It's not the entire 5 days. It's like 5 minutes a day, and then go and check up on some stuff, and then start booking meetings with people and getting to know them, and your business will never be the same, I promise. Every time I get involved with Jay's stuff, my business escalates, it grows, it explodes. I'm not talking little changes. This is epic. So awesome. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it immensely. You guys go and check out the Business Ownership Podcast. We'll be doing there, and I'm going to end off with Jay's epic little ad. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.